Click, click, clap. What's going on, guys? I'm SimpleSimon, and today I'm going to be returning to the Docklands and checking out the Fans Strike Back Star Wars exhibition. So from what I've seen online, it hasn't been really getting good reviews. A lot of people have trashed it, said it's terrible and so on. But, you know, with these things, you never know until you check it out yourself. So I'm going to be going to the Docklands and checking out the Star Wars Fans Strike Back and seeing what it's all about. Let's go.
Quick shout out to my Siminions. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in exclusive members only videos, extended episodes of The Noob, and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more about channel membership. But remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos.
Alright, so I'm back at the Docklands. Some of you guys might have seen, I was here a few weeks ago and I went to the Ninja Turtles exhibition. And afterwards I was like, it was alright, but I definitely didn't think it was worth the $35 entry. Now with the Star Wars one, I thought it was going to be the same price. And to be honest, I feel like it's going to be a very similar thing, but Star Wars. I went to buy my ticket last night, and thank God there was a discount code. I got 20% off, but it was $40 to go to this Star Wars thing. So I'm really hoping it's worth the $40. But like I said, a lot of people haven't been giving it great reviews online, but we're about to find out. Let's go.
Alright, so here's a panning shot of the ghost town that is the Docklands. And I got there early. As usual, I'm one of those guys, I like to be on time. And there was a bit of a line, so it wasn't jam-packed. But since people don't like to be near each other, it actually stretched back quite a bit. So I had to go all the way down the end there to the back of the line. So here I am at the back of the line, admiring all the artwork on the walls and waiting to get inside. And yeah, I was quite a long way away from the door. So the line started moving and I couldn't help but notice something about the prints that were on the wall here. Look how low resolution it's in. That was my first sign. I was like, oh no. But you know what? Don't judge a book by its low resolution cover. Let's go inside and have a real look at what this exhibition has to offer. So everything you just saw was the information desk and the entrance. I'm about to really go into the exhibition now. This is the first room here. Now get ready for Diorama City because you're about to see a lot of dioramas. Now, I think the best way to approach this exhibition is like me, to go in with zero expectations. But I do want to know from you guys watching, let us know in the comments, if you were going to a Star Wars exhibition, if you were going to this Star Wars exhibition, let me know in the comments. What would you expect to see at an event like this? Let us know in the comments down below. So this is the second room here. Just a narrow little hallway, and I'm not going to lie, I was looking around thinking, this is not looking good. But I'll tell you what, there is plenty more to see in this video, and I got a ton of footage, so stay tuned. Alright, I hope you like dioramas because you're about to see a ton of dioramas, starting with some Jar Jar Binks. Everybody loves Jar Jar. Apparently they hated him back in the day, but now they love him. Did you know that I haven't even seen The Phantom Menace? It's the only Star Wars movie I haven't seen, so I haven't even got to experience Jar Jar. I used to have a Jar Jar Binks mouse though. So they did have these little written notes on all the dioramas so you knew what you were looking at, which was kind of cool. And if anyone happens to see this video and they're in it and they happen to go on the same day as me, holler at me in the comments, let me know what you thought of the event. Now, I counted these as two separate rooms, but really they were just a U-shaped corridor, and I'm heading into what I call the third room, which was the ice room, the winter room, the snow-themed Star Wars room. Oh, and another thing you probably want to do in the comment section is let me know what your favorite Star Wars movie is. Are you an Empire guy? In fact, rank your top 3 Star Wars movies. For me, it's Return of the Jedi, then Empire Strikes Back, and then probably the original. Empire is very, very close to being the best, but for me, I'm just more of a Jedi guy. Say what you want about Ewoks, but when I was a kid, I thought Ewoks were cool as. Alright, so that was the ice, snow, winter room. As you can see, everything's very spaced out. It's not like everything's jam-packed in and crowded, so you've got plenty of space to walk. And then we turn the corner and go into the next room, the next section. I got a shot of this outfit here. I don't know whose character it was from. I considered very strongly to grab that blaster and throw it at someone's head, but I didn't.
All gathered in secrecy and flying.
And just when you thought there was no more dioramas, here is the next room. The diorama room. So the thing with these costumes were, they were kind of just like, they weren't official movie props, they were kind of just like made by people. I think one of the complaints was people were hoping for more official movie memorabilia and, you know, things like that. But I do think that some of these dioramas are actually pretty cool. So I guess it just depends on the individual. I mean, if you really just love everything Star Wars, then you're probably going to enjoy all these dioramas. But if you were expecting movie props and, you know, things like that, then you might have been a little bit disappointed. But look, a recreation of a classic movie scene is still pretty cool, right? I absolutely loved this poster, so I had to get a shot of it, of all the characters sitting in the theater watching a movie. That's pretty cool. Now, earlier in the video, you may have heard me say that I was very much expecting this to be just like the Ninja Turtles exhibition, but just a Star Wars version of it. But as you can see, even though the stuff here wasn't quite as cool as some of the stuff at the Ninja Turtles exhibition, there was definitely a lot more of it here. Now, I was kind of curious looking at all these dioramas. Some of them obviously use some of the toys, but a lot of the bigger ones, the models, I wasn't sure where they came from. They looked like maybe they were models that were made by people, like including the figures. I wasn't sure where a lot of this stuff came from, but a lot of it had a lot of attention to detail, so it was still cool to look at. Hey, it's Jar Jar again. I thought this was pretty cool here. An album cover from the Cantina Band, paying homage to Queen. That was pretty cool. I had to get a shot of that. And then this display here was quite impressive. A life-size land speeder. Pretty cool spot to get a photo, especially if you got kids. I'm sure they would love it. Including these life-size droids, which is very cool, and a Jawa there. You got the inside of the land speeder here and the security there, making sure you don't sit in there. And then you got a BD1 here in yellow. Looking good, BD. Alright, so into the next room we go, and I don't even know how to explain this one. It's like a life-size diorama? Or maybe you just call it like a set, like a movie set. Ooh, I can sense a thumbnail within this shot. Now, this is, again, pretty cool just to get photos with, especially if you've got kids. I'm sure they'd love it. And you could really get some good shots, I think, with this type of background. So, just a bit of fun there. You can pause the screen here if you want to read the script, but it basically explains what the exhibition was all about. And it did say that a lot of this stuff was handcrafted. So, anyway, that was the life-size diorama room, and next we're going into another room. Are you sick of dioramas yet? Well, too bad, because you're about to get a whole lot more. I absolutely love this print here of the Scout Trooper, paying homage to a famous image from the Akira anime movie. So what confused me was, this exhibition was billed as an exhibition of the world's largest private collection, which makes me think that this all belongs to one person, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't buy that all this belongs to one person's collection. I mean, when you look at everything, it feels like it's more a collaboration of a bunch of people who have all this cool stuff and they brought it all together for this exhibition. So I don't know, but if anyone sees this who does know, please let me know in the comments. And there's the next room. More dioramas, baby, let's go. Oh, but first, somehow Palpatine has returned and he is here at the Fan Strike Back. Well, his head is anyway. So back to me not having watched Phantom Menace. The reason why is, I've told this story many times for those who know me, but if you're new to the channel, I grew up and I loved the original Star Wars when I was a kid, but when Phantom Menace came out, I watched 15 minutes of it and I hated it because the characters I loved were no longer there. So that was the end of my Star Wars journey. I decided I didn't want anything to do with Star Wars anymore. Now I did watch Force Awakens when that came out because I heard Luke Skywalker was going to be in it, who was my childhood hero. And boy did I get ripped off. I watched that movie just to see him for 2 seconds, but Force Awakens was fantastic. But that wasn't what got me back into Star Wars. It really was The Mandalorian first 2 seasons that really made me get involved. And then I went back and I watched all the new sequels, and then I went back and watched episode 2 and 3. I just never revisited Phantom Menace because it left that bad taste in my mouth, but it will happen one day. Trust me. Maybe I'll do a reaction video watching Phantom Menace for the first time. Alright, so time for the next room, and the next room was super dark. I don't remember it being that dark with my eyes, but it's definitely coming up very dark on film here. And they actually had a lot of Lego stuff, so if you're a Lego fan, get ready for some Star Wars Lego. I only do like the kids Lego. Sarah does the serious Lego, so she's got a bunch of these helmets. Sarah also has a big ass Millennium Falcon Lego. It's still in the box. She's waiting to buy this special table that stores the Millennium Falcon Lego. But one day she'll have that done, and one day I'll be able to share that with you guys on the channel. So, at first I thought I was looking at Lego. For example, Sarah has this BD1 Lego, and when I looked at this, I thought, it looks a little different. And then I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this Porg Lego. And then I looked at this R2 and I was like, is this actually Lego? I think it was fake Lego. Or, you know, off-brand Lego. That looks like real Lego. Anyway, after all the Lego, we reached the final room. Finally! That was a lot of rooms. And I came across this thing which had a lot of buttons, and I just had to press one to see what would happen. That was a little underwhelming, but look, I do give a real-time reaction to this event at the end of the video, but just to give you a quick summary of the Fan Strike Back, I think the people who really didn't like this event were really expecting something different. They wanted more. They were probably expecting official movie memorabilia, real looking sets. Like I said, a lot of the stuff was handcrafted, and a lot of it you could tell was handcrafted. A lot of it didn't look fantastic. But look, if you go to this event with no expectations, I think you can still have a good time. If you really love Star Wars that much, I think you can still get some enjoyment by just getting your Star Wars fix going to this event. Now, something that really upset me was they had these arcade games and you had to pay for it. That was a little bit upsetting. I reckon they should have had it on free play, especially for the kids. That was a little bit of a letdown, I do have to admit that. And just like that, we had reached the end. Now, if you do want to check out the Fan Strike Back for yourself, all the information, links to their website and social medias will be in the description below. So don't listen to what the haters say. If you want to go check it out for yourself, you go check it out. This shot here is for the gentleman who commented who wanted to see it. I didn't do a shop tour, mate, but if you are an Astro Boy fan like you said you were, you probably do want to check out this store.
All right, so what did I think of the fan strike back? So I've got to be honest with you, it was better than I expected. Obviously, a lot of people didn't have great things about it to say about it, so I was going in there with low expectation. You definitely spend more time in there. So I'm going to do a lot of comparisons to the Ninja Turtles exhibition. So what I heard was the Ninja Turtles exhibition was all fully approved by Paramount with all the licensing and all that sort of stuff. Well, this one was not. This one was just put on by fans, I guess. And the thing was, I mean, it depends what you expect from this exhibition. So obviously it was just a whole bunch of dioramas. I don't know where a lot of those, like, it's not like they were sideshow statues and things like that, I don't think. It looks like they were just models made by people, maybe. I'm not too sure, but as far as like value for money wise, I really didn't think the Ninja Turtles one was worth $35. This one was $40. Thank God there was a discount code. So if you get in during the school holidays, they have a 20% off discount code. It's on the website. You don't have to find it. It will just be there for you. So I'm glad I got 20% off. So for $32, being that it was cheaper than the Ninja Turtles one, I would say that I enjoyed this one more than the Ninja Turtles one. But again, it just depends on what your expectations are, what you expect to see at something called the Fan Strike Back. Because yeah, a lot of those dioramas, it looks like they were just made by people. Nothing was official in there. But as far as like, I mean, I was very skeptical when it said that, you know, it's 35, or I think it was like 40 to 60 minute experience. I was in there for probably 40 to 45 minutes. So it definitely felt like I got a lot more bang for buck as far as what there was to see. Look, they also had a very much bigger space than the Ninja Turtles exhibition. Yeah, they definitely utilized the space. They spread it out. So as far as like taking your family there and kids, sure. Is it worth $40? Well, that's up to you to decide. I did show a lot of stuff today. So I didn't show every single diorama, but I showed a lot of it. So yeah, look, I'm glad I went. It's content, and hopefully you guys who don't end up going or don't get a chance to go, you get to live it through my videos. But yeah, I actually enjoyed this a little bit more than the Turtles one. I just think there was a little bit more on offer, but was what was on offer worth it? I don't know. I think considering the discount, I'll say yes. But again, if you've got a whole family to bring for, you know, 4 people, 5 people, it's a costly day out. So it just depends. But yeah, if you're a huge Star Wars fan, sure, why not? And you know what? I gotta say, I have to admit, there were people in there that were enjoying it. There were young kids who were telling their parents what they were looking at. And like, I think when we entered the second room, I heard a lady go, "I've never seen anything like this." And I'm like, really? But you know what? Everyone, don't listen to what everyone says. Just, I think you need to experience these things for yourself. But I would understand if you've got a family and you pay for 4 or 5 people to go. It's an expensive day out. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you guys are new to the channel, feel free to give this video a like to show some support. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the playlist in the description to see more places that I go to. And until next time, I'm SimpleSimon. Tell your friends and keep it simple.